All right, guys, this might be the most excited I've ever been to record a video. So I've been working on something absolutely insane for the last couple of months, and it's finally ready to show you. This is genuinely going to change how you think about email marketing and how to generate revenue from your Klaviyo campaigns. What I'm talking about is deep brand intelligence. I'm talking about combining the world's most powerful AI that exists today with your actual store data, your Klaviyo campaign data, and strategies that have been generated from Dispatch, my agency, that sent over 1 billion emails and has generated over $60 million in email revenue. So if you're new to this channel, LT is an AI email marketing platform that I built with a few co-founders specifically for e-commerce brands. It connects directly to your Klaviyo account and your Shopify account and generates campaign strategy, campaign copy, and campaign designs for you automatically. But what we just released is something that takes this to a completely different level in terms of the revenue that it's able to generate. It's called deep brand intelligence, and honestly, it is the most exciting thing that we've ever shipped. So for some background, and this is probably applicable to your situation if you're not already using LT, you are probably using some form of AI to help you with your email marketing today. You're probably using ChatGPT or Claude to come up with examples of campaign ideas you should be sending and to write the copy for your campaigns. And up until today, that was the right approach for efficiency. But the problem with using ChatGPT or Claude in the context that you are is that the context that it has about your business and your customer demo is completely surface level. Even if you're using a custom GPT or a Claude project, the amount of data it's able to absorb in order to then output the best marketing campaigns that are going to drive the most conversions is just not there. And after working with over 50 brands, one thing I can tell you from before we start working with these brands and after we start working with them is that the difference in the amount of revenue we're able to generate from our campaigns is deeply rooted in the actual marketing strategy that goes into those campaigns. So what products are we talking about? How are we talking about them? What is the overall theme of the campaign? What are the deep psychological drivers around why people are actually buying from this brand? And I've seen it enough times to know there is a deep disconnect between what brands understand about who their customer is and the reality under the surface, which is there are tons of different customers who care about tons of different things. And in reality, the average brand, just because of the bandwidth that they have to actually test new ideas, analyze their results, doesn't really know what works at an outlier level to drive the most revenue possible and what really resonates with their customer demo. Now enter deep brand intelligence. What we've been able to do inside of LT is literally take the world's most powerful AI and its deep research capabilities and pull it into the platform that connects it with all of your Shopify data, your Klaviyo data, and the unique insights that we're able to have from our experience at Dispatch, sending over 1 billion emails, generating over $60 million in revenue, understanding how to put together a full month's campaign calendar and individual campaigns in terms of the copy, design, strategy that actually drives conversions. So deep brand intelligence is going to be located in the new research tab inside of LT. You can see right here that our AI is conducting comprehensive research to understand your brand's unique story, your brand voice, and most importantly, your position in the market and who your customers are. This is going to be used to power content across every single feature that LT has. We're going to be using the findings from deep research to inform calendar generation. We're going to be using it to inform copywriting, and we're going to be using it to inform design choices. And what we're finding at a high level, because it actually goes a lot deeper than this, we're looking at the brand story and USPs. We're looking at your customer voice to capture how customers are talking about you online, on Reddit or other social media sites, on reviews platforms that you have like Trustpilot. We're looking for objections and pain points and finding what's stopping people from buying so your emails can actually overcome those objections and convert. And then we're going deep into your buyer psychology to build customer archetypes with real motivations and triggers. So whether your brand has your founder or a junior marketer running your email campaigns, or maybe even it's an agency that's like has overseas employees who aren't real strategists, like what deep brand intelligence is going to do is give you a literal PhD level thesis paper written on your brand and have that agent who wrote the PhD working hand in hand with LT, who's your email marketer, to make sure every single touch point is drawing from that PhD thesis paper along with all of the data that LT understands about your business through our integrations. You can see here it takes 40 credits to just run deep research one time, and the insights are used across all other features. And just for your information, 40 credits can be used within our completely free trial. Now, before I show you the output of deep brand intelligence, if you haven't tried LT yet and you'd like to completely free, there is a specific link in the description that you can click on right now to get a 100% free trial, no credit card required. And we now even have our sandbox mode, which means you can see the exact email strategy and content that LT would generate for your brand without having to integrate your Shopify store or your Klaviyo account if you're not ready to do that yet. Now, I would suggest that you complete those integrations and complete the deep research because the outputs that you're going to get are going to be much better. And that's kind of the whole point of this video. But if you're not there yet and you just want to try it, use sandbox mode. All right, so we're going to go over to the Cooler Keg, where we've ran deep brand intelligence to generate a research report. So for context, the Cooler Keg is this brand right here, and it's a portable keg that you can bring with you anywhere to have your beer on tap. So I'm not gonna go through the entire research report because as you can see right here, it is extremely long and extremely in depth. I would urge you to go and run this research report for your brand because you're probably gonna wanna take the time to read through this. Number one, to learn more about your brand and your customer demo, but number two, to see how it's going to be able to inform your email marketing going forward. But what I will show you at a high level is the brand Bible. So we are generating everything from the founding story, mission, vision, brand values, pulling everything from what's available online, and then going into the core offerings. What are the actual products and services that your brand offers, new arrivals, your new collections, and basically how your brand's product line has evolved over time, your unique selling points and structural differentiation, where we get into what's informing better campaign strategy. Why are people actually buying from you? And this is just where if you're using ChatGPT to come up with ideas, it is not taking all these really in-depth, really accurate explanations of your brand and why you're relevant and the best choice in the market into consideration. We have your market positioning, competitive landscape. Then we have your customer voice and sentiment. So here we're actually pulling reviews from the website, and then we're also pulling reviews from other sources. So if your brand has been featured in any publications, we're gonna be able to pull that over here. In section 2, we have customer and buyer intelligence. So we're putting together archetypes for who are the actual customers that are buying from you. And from the Cooler Keg, we have archetype A as the tailgate titan, the ultimate game day host. So we're giving the situation and context about who that person is, their primary motivation for to buy, be the MVP of the tailgate, their primary anxiety. So the fear something can go wrong at a critical moment. What if it malfunctions or I can't get it working on game day? So this persona needs the Cooler Keg to be rugged and reliable. Purchase triggers include the start of a sports season. This is when they're going to be most likely to be buying. And it's pretty easy to see how this is going to inform the types of campaigns we're going to be sending around when football season is starting, which LT is going to know in the campaign calendar generation process. We have several different other archetypes because the truth is there's not just one person buying from the Cooler Keg. There are multiple personas with different reasons. We don't want to just send campaigns to one of those personas and assume that is the persona that is going to convert the most. And we don't want to use every opportunity, like the start of football season, to speak to the wrong persona because of an assumption we're making. We have customer type mix and revenue drivers, repeat buyers, and what are these people looking to purchase? We're going to use this to generate strategy for campaigns that aligns with a specific segment and what they're likely to buy. We have the core demographic profile, different ICP segments, psychographic drivers, messaging that we should be incorporating by awareness stage. So for prospects that haven't bought yet, what is that unaware stage? And what do we want to be communicating to move them down the funnel towards their first purchase? We have customer friction and resistance. What are the different objections that are being faced? How can we address these in the strategy of our campaigns? Competitive differentiation and switching dynamics. A ton of brands don't think that it's important to speak about the alternatives in the market. Maybe it's because they think that if they ignore it and pretend that alternatives don't exist, customers won't realize. But in reality, most brands involve a price shopping comparison component where customers are deciding whether they want to be buying from your brand or a different one, and really speaking to why your brand is the best in the market with specific examples and references that communicates why it's better than your competitors or even competitive solutions altogether is going to generate more conversions. LT understands all of this through the research report. Substitution solutions beyond direct competitors, like I mentioned, offer risk reversal and trust credibility signals. Then we get to the reviews. So here we're pulling extremely specific reviews that are found on different sources online. And these can now be used in the campaign generation in order to reinforce the main message or benefits that the campaign is driving. So when you combine this with your brand's unique voice and tone, your brand's unique design guidelines, your brand's unique information pulled from Shopify and Klaviyo through our direct integrations. You combine it with your image library that you have, which is pulled from Shopify, but also which you can upload into. What you get is a campaign calendar that is genuinely light years more advanced in terms of its ability to drive engagement and conversions than if you're just using ChatGPT or going with your gut about what you should be sending. So now looking at a few examples of what LT was able to generate for our January campaign calendar, we can see that we have a campaign on January 16th for winter tailgate essentials, keeping your beverages ice cold. And then we have the entire strategy, the creative direction completely laid out, with the strategy rationale being pulled from our understanding of how campaigns drive revenue, with all of the unique data that we now have from the brand research report and the Shopify integration. So we have winter tailgate timing, seasonal relevance, mid-January aligns with NFL playoffs and college basketball season when outdoor gatherings peak. We want to focus on the cooler keg. We want to focus on that specific product here, which we can see in our related products. And these are just pulled in directly through the Shopify integration. So it's the complete solution. The all-in-one system addresses the core customer need of serving cold draft beverages anywhere without electricity, which is obviously going to be outside in this case. The ice packs emphasis. So we're also suggesting that we promote extra ice packs in this campaign. So differentiation, custom design ice packs solve the long duration cold problem that standard coolers can't handle at winter events. And then finally, LT's also suggesting that we include education on CO2 while also promoting the 74 gram CO2 cartridges. And we want to be explaining that one cartridge runs both kegs full to empty, which removes the intimidation factor for new customers so that they know they're not going to run out. And then as soon as we want to design this email, we can see that in our HTML-based email design, we have our header for the cooler keg right here. All of this was completely generated in one button click. So we have our header, winter tailgate ready. We have this AI generated image, which is of the cooler keg on the back of a pickup truck at a tailgate. So if you're a brand that doesn't have the bandwidth or budget to capture these moments in a real setting with a photo shoot, LT is literally putting your product at the forefront in a moment and a scene that completely resonates with every single campaign you're going to be sending that's resonating with your customer demo. So we have our body copy, our CTA over here. Here's where you can see the specific products that LT was suggesting to promote in the strategy, and we're positioning them as your complete winter tailgate system. And then a final section just selling on the USP of why cooler keg wins winter, where we're putting together value proposition description text that completely sells exactly why the customer demo needs this product at this moment. Other campaigns that LT strategized were how to clean your cooler kegs, the complete guide to cleaning it. And we can see an example here of our image-based design, which at this point in January 2026 is absolutely the best AI image-based email generator on the planet, and it's not even close. Just looking at the strategy for a few more campaigns with our deep research. So we have game day upgrades, accessories to level up your setup, Super Bowl prep, stock up on CO2 and essentials, beyond beer, serve wine, cocktails, and more on draft. Keep it running, essential maintenance and replacement parts, Valentine's Day gift guide, give the gift of epic gatherings, and LT understands that we should probably be pushing an e-gift card that is in the Shopify catalog in this campaign. Now, the reason I said I was so excited at the beginning of this video is not even because of what I just showed you. It's what the future of e-commerce email marketing and LT provide to brands that otherwise are not able to afford this level of strategy that can legitimately 2 to 3x the amount of revenue you're generating in your campaigns. So if you still haven't signed up to try LT, this is the perfect time. The platform is getting so much better. And honestly, the closest thing I can equate it to at this point is like putting your Klaviyo account on steroids. Ever since Klaviyo changed their billing structure and now brands are billed based off of active profiles, whether you send one campaign a month or 20 campaigns a month, your Klaviyo bill is going to be the same. So number one, sending more campaigns is going to generate more revenue for your brand and get you a higher ROI on your Klaviyo bill. But number two, sending much higher quality campaigns in terms of the strategy and the messaging is going to generate more revenue compared to like sending off of vibes or sending off of what your competitors are doing, or based on just sending whatever ChatGPT is telling you to do. So if you want to see what deep brand intelligence and our integrations can unlock for your brand, check it out at lt.ai. Again, the link is in the description for the free trial. And if you found this valuable or at the very least cool, then subscribe for more insights on scaling your e-commerce brand through smarter lifecycle marketing. I'll see you in the next one.